We just need wings, don't you think? We need angel wings.
Angel.
Doves, yes. Well, listen,
I love it.
I love how we can talk sport all day, every day on this show. And when it comes to looking for sports stars, we are always looking for the next big thing. I think there's this perception that big stars only come from fancy schools, but that's
so
not the
true,
case.
but this case, things are different because we're going all the way to Beja and Tabiso's there to look at a tennis enthusiast who's looking at cultivating some gems from the town of Zwede. Let's check it out.
We're all born equal, but we're not all born with equal opportunities. And that's what the Emntsalani Junior Tennis Club is trying to change by introducing the beautiful game of tennis to kids from non-fee paying schools. I'm here to meet with the leaders and see the kids in action. Come. Mbulelo.
Hey, Tabiso.
How are you doing?
Hey,
You good?
good.
Hey,
Oh,
my
good.
brother. Well, let's talk about this great work you're doing here. Mbulelo, where did the idea come from to start the Emntsalani Junior Tennis Club?
I come from the township. I grew up in the township, all right? But I'm no longer staying in the township. I must do something because you find these kids on the streets. I went to the schools, primary schools, all right, where I come from. I approached the headmaster. We sit down with the parents. They agreed, they trusted me, all right? We started tennis.
And why specifically this beautiful game of tennis and not any other sport?
I'm a sport-loving person. I believe in balance of sport. When it comes to kids, you must broaden their way of thinking about sport, okay? You must bring sport to the kids, irrespective of sporting codes. This one, tennis, I like it too much because when it comes to tennis, kids, they learn language, all right? It sharpens their mind to think very quick. It works with their physical fitness.
I started playing tennis 2018. Yeah, and my dream is to become a professional tennis player. I was scouted from a school at the townships, and I'm captain of the Emntsalani Tennis Club. Coach Mbulelo is one of the best coaches I know, and I kind of correspond with him.
Gavin, you're the director of the Emntsalani Junior Tennis Club, and you do such great work. What are your specific focus areas? What does a typical session look like here?
So typically we have a number of different sessions with the kids because the kids come from the township. Mbulelo takes the kids often in the week, sort of on a Tuesday or Thursday when he's not working, because this man works full time and he does this. And most recently we have a lot of privileged kids that join us, which are great because the kids are generally quite strong. And they bring good, strong tennis to our kids and they help them uplift their game. And they're also making new friends.
I started playing tennis in 2018. My name is Jack Mowbray. I'm in grade 6. I go to St. George's Preparatory School and my dream is to become a professional tennis player. I really love that I get the opportunity to play with the Emntsalani Tennis Club because the people here are very nice and I love playing tennis very, very much.
The thing about the work you do is it takes a lot of passion. And I mean, you're a very passionate man. Where does it all come from, this fire?
It's not easy, I have to say. And Mbulelo he's a very hard driver. And I think there's very few people that can keep up with him. These are like his kids. And I think he came off the street and it's his way of giving back to these kids.
You do such a great job doing that. I know that you have your eyes set on seeing these kids move from junior level to hopefully one day senior level, but
Yes.
It must take a level of support. What can people do to help you with that dream?
So our biggest challenge is funding. You know, we're an NPC and we've got about 35 kids in the club at the moment. And of those 35, we've got 12 that are tournament playing kids registered with Tennis South Africa. We're trying to increase that number at the moment. But it's really all about funding. The facilities in Zwede are in a very bad state and it's actually easier to get the kids away from there and bring them to a club like Wembley. Also, Wembley's been very good to them. We've been running programs since probably 2016, 2017. We struggled, but we've got a good formula now with Mbulelo. And I'm very passionate about it and it's very hard not to be because these kids are great.
The members of Wembley Tennis Club, they give us these tennis courts for free. Members of this club, they do donation for transport to bring these kids from the township to come here. That's not only that, they give clothes to these kids tennis clothes, shoes, all right?
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for members of this tennis club, Wembley Tennis Club.
You're a man on a mission, and I'm sure you've got big plans for the Emntsalani Junior Tennis Club. What are your hopes for the future of the tennis club?
Number one is to improve their education. Schooling is very important, all right? Secondly is to establish and build tennis in the disadvantaged areas. I mean the schools. Public schooling in the township, they must play tennis. And I want these kids to grow up playing tennis. Tennis must open up doors for them. They must be able to go to tertiary education. They must be able to get scholarships to go to America.
Well, Mbulelo, I'll tell you one thing, the future is looking bright for these kids.
Thanks very much, Tabiso.
Who knows, maybe one day we'll get to see some of these young people on a Wimbledon court. Yes!
How amazing. How's your hand-eye coordination?
It's okay. It's not as good as these kids, though. But I think it's so awesome to know that not only do we have superstars right now in sport, but the future's looking pretty good, too. And seeing the community get involved, I can't be grateful enough for that.
I know. And speaking of the community, coming up, we're going to be talking to the man behind Run for Shoes, a great initiative to help kids in schools get some school shoes. That and a whole lot more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Cheers.